What's going on, guys? It's your boy John the Liquidator coming back with another video, and it looked like Caitlin Clark has suffered yet another hard foul, and the referees failed to make a call.
Caitlin Clark was violently body slammed on live TV, reminiscent of WrestleMania, not a WNBA game, and the refs did absolutely nothing. Again. Are the officials secretly Atlanta Dream fans, or are they just ignoring the chaos? Either way, this isn't just a basketball game. It's turning into a drama series with Clark as the star, the antagonist, and now, the target. You won't believe what just happened in Atlanta. This game is escalating into something much more intense than anyone expected.
See, when I say this, the Atlanta Dream, not quite Nate Tibbetts. If you guys know anything, like Nate Tibbetts, literally like he would throw 17 different looks at Caitlin per quarter. He would throw a different look at Caitlin every single possession. However,
there she was, Caitlin Clark, the ultimate basketball highlight, sharing the court with the Atlanta Dream and enduring what looks like an experimental contact sport. It seems the WNBA has somehow transformed from professional basketball into a full-on body-slamming event. And the referees? They must have been watching a different game entirely. Or perhaps they believed they were officiating a WWE tryout instead. The level of missed calls and ignored fouls is astonishing, turning this game into a chaotic spectacle where Clark's safety seems secondary to the chaos unfolding around her.
The year and another case of WNBA referees dropping the ball, not making the right calls when it comes to Caitlin Clark. Bruh, how we one game away for the start of the season and we have already Caitlin Clark getting fouled extremely hard. Look back at the referee like, damn.
Let's set the scene. Caitlin Clark, renowned for her sharpshooting and court vision sharper than a hawk on espresso, steps into the game with confidence, skill, and a knack for making defenders look helpless, like human traffic cones. Naturally, such dominance can't be ignored. So what do the Atlanta Dream do? Do they tighten their defense? Change their game plan? Watch film and adapt? Instead, they seem to be caught off guard, allowing Clark to continue her assault while they scramble to find a solution. If you support Caitlin Clark, subscribe our channel and comment, CC is the GOAT down below.
How much of the jealousy of Clark is because the insane amount of publicity she gets? How much is the jealousy is because she gets so much money from endorsements? How much of it is because she's white? How much of it because she's straight? I have no idea. And I have no idea what percentage of the women are jealous and to what degree. I can't get in their minds. I have no idea. I don't know if the black players are more jealous than the white players. They're all jealous. Well, I don't think all of them. Some of them, most of them seem to be. But all I know is that the refs, if the players are going to treat her, be physical with her, the refs have to protect her, not because she's Caitlin Clark, but because the fact that it's the right thing to do.
They swarm her like she's stolen their pre-game meal, charging with reckless abandon. And the referees? Their response matches the energy of someone whose shift ended 10 minutes ago, eager to clock out and forget the chaos. There's no urgency in their whistles, just a sense of indifference that screams, "I'm not paid enough for this." Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is pushed and shoved, as if she accidentally wandered into a Black Friday clearance sale, where the only thing on discount is her respect. It's a frustrating display of missed calls and lack of enforcement, turning what should be a competitive game into a chaotic free-for-all.
Y'all got it. And that's exactly how I'm feeling right now, bro. Like, at this point, watch this play, guys. No call whatsoever. No call whatsoever. But they will call Caitlin Clark getting a technical. They will call Caitlin Clark getting a technical foul.
At this point, we have to ask, are the referees even paying attention? Or are they somewhere else entirely? Perhaps on some spiritual vision quest in the nosebleeds, seeking inner peace? Because Caitlin Clark wasn't just fouled, she received the full WWE treatment. Elbows to the ribs, shoulders to the chest, forearms to the face. basically everything short of a steel folding chair and a surprise tag team partner. Yet how did the officials respond? With the same urgency and emotional investment as a sloth watching a rerun of televised golf. Their lack of calls and apparent indifference turned what should have been a competitive battle into a frustrating spectacle, leaving everyone wondering if they're truly watching the same game.
WNBA referees' secret agenda against Caitlin Clark.
Clark drives into the lane, clearly aiming for a layup. The Atlanta Dream's defense collapses, not with disciplined footwork or textbook positioning, but with the chaotic, uncoordinated energy of a full-court rugby scrum on roller skates. One defender lunges wildly for the ball, another goes straight for her midsection like she's executing a WWE takedown, and a third seems to channel her inner Mortal Kombat fighter, executing some kind of mid-air finishing move. Clark absorbs it all. Contact from 3 angles, chaos tangled in a basketball uniform. And the whistle? Oh, it's non-existent. Silent, muted, absent, maybe on vacation. You could almost hear the referee's internal voice. Let them play. Which might work in a neighborhood pickup game in 1994, where fouls were optional and shirts versus skins was still a thing. But in a professional WNBA game? Not so much. The crowd gasps as Clark hits the hardwood, and the game continues as if nothing happened, as if she simply tripped on her own greatness rather than being body-checked into next week. The only thing more invisible than the foul was the official's sense of duty.
One of the biggest hurdles for Caitlin Clark at Indiana Fever last season was the WNBA referees. Now, the front office made it their business to revamp the team, bring in more aggressive players to help them get further in the WNBA season and possibly win a WNBA championship. But before any of that stuff could even get done, we have to take a look at the misguided missile that can destroy everything this upcoming season, and that is the WNBA referees and this secret agenda.
And let's not pretend this was just a one-off mistake. This wasn't some isolated lapse in officiating. It was a repeated display of referee improvisation. The rules, seemingly optional. Contact, almost encouraged. Fouls, treated as mere suggestions. At one point, Caitlin was dribbling up the court when she absorbed a shoulder check that, in the NFL, would have earned a 15-yard penalty. She got right back up, because let's face it, Clark's made of tougher stuff than the ref's spines, and kept playing. The closest referee to the hit? He stared blankly into the void, probably questioning all the choices that brought him to that moment. Meanwhile, on the Dream's bench, you could practically hear the whispered strategy. If you can't stop her, just take her out. It's not defense, it's denial in motion. Instead of maintaining order, the officials have become mere spectators in their fluorescent shirts.
Indiana Fever fans, we got another W in the preseason against the Atlanta Dream, 81-76. There's a lot that went on in this game. So this was a very competitive game. All the way through, they were given full court defense on Caitlin Clark. For the most part of the game, the starters did sit after 3. Caitlin Clark finished with 13, 7, and 6. She could have had 12 to 15 assists. Wait until you see the highlights. She did drop a couple bombs. She hit 3 3-pointers. We did get a...
Here's the twist. Even as she was battered and targeted like a piñata at a birthday bash for frustrated defenders, Caitlin Clark continued to shine brilliantly. Naturally. It's Caitlin Clark. You could place her in the middle of a rugby scrum, and she'd still manage to execute a perfect step-back 3, despite being tossed around like fragile luggage at the airport by handlers who clearly missed their fragile training. She kept running the offense with relentless precision. No, scratch that. More like a symphony in motion. The way she finds her teammates isn't just basketball. It's jazz improvisation. Fluid, unpredictable, yet flawlessly orchestrated. While defenders appear to be stuck buffering in slow motion, Clark is out there calculating passing angles with the cool efficiency of a quantum scientist combined with the flair of a street magician. She's 2 steps ahead of everyone else, still trying to locate the ball. And let's not forget the stats. Because numbers don't lie. Despite referees occasionally missing calls, tripping over whistles, or seemingly allowing body contact that should be illegal, Clark didn't just survive the chaos. She masterfully conducted it, turning the game into her own brilliant symphony.
If this would have been a regular season game, I believe Caitlin Clark very much flirts with a triple-double in this game. If this is a regular season game, because she was heading down that road, she only played 23 minutes.
Clark dished out assists all over the court like Oprah handing out cars. Left-handed, right-handed, behind the back, through the legs of defenders too busy trying to box her out of existence to notice their shoelaces were untied. She didn't just read the floor, she directed it with the finesse of a ballet choreographer with a grudge. When the Dream tried to double-team her, she sliced through them like wielding a lightsaber in a fencing match. The crowd could almost hear the whoosh every time she breezed past defenders caught somewhere between awe and despair. Each time Atlanta attempted to rattle her with a defensive maneuver that suspiciously resembled a hockey check from the 1998 Red Wings, Clark just shrugged it off like lint on a black sweater. No reaction, no flinch, just a calm, slightly irritated glance that seemed to say, "Is that all you've got?" Her composure was unbreakable, her confidence radiating as she continued to dominate, turning the game into her own showcase of skill and poise.
Caitlin Clark, in 23 minutes of play, 13 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. In 23 minutes, Caitlin Clark already shows all of us who are watching along, stay tuned, folks. Multiple triple-doubles are coming this season.
She sank threes with the nonchalant body language of someone fixing a jammed printer, calm, precise, and slightly annoyed they had to do it themselves. Each shot seemed to drop so effortlessly it looked like she was placing them there with tweezers. No rim, no fuss, just pure net, swish after swish, while her defenders stood around like they were waiting for a bus that wasn't coming. Meanwhile, the Dream's bench wore that collective, "we've made a terrible mistake" look, and her defenders carried the body language of people who'd just discovered their car was towed during brunch, slumped shoulders, distant stares, and the grim realization that they'd be stuck guarding her for another quarter. Clark wasn't just in control, she was running a masterclass. And the Dream? They were paying full price for the lesson, helpless against her effortless precision and unshakable composure.
Caitlin Clark, in 23 minutes of play, 13 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. In 23 minutes, Caitlin Clark already shows all of us who are watching along, stay tuned, folks. Multiple triple-doubles are coming this season.
And it wasn't just her offense. Clark played lockdown defense with a court awareness that would make GPS systems jealous. She anticipated cuts before they even materialized, closed out on shooters with surgical precision, and pulled down rebounds in traffic as effortlessly as reaching for cereal on a crowded shelf. All the while, she was being bumped, shoved, nudged, clipped, and sometimes mistaken for an obstacle to hurdle over. By halftime, you'd expect her to be in the locker room surrounded by ice packs and legal counsel, nursing the bruises. But no. She re-emerged with her head held high, still smiling, unfazed. When you're built different, apparently referees treating you like a piñata just becomes part of your warm-up routine. Now, let's take a moment to address the officiating, because the comedy writes itself. At one point, an Atlanta player swiped Clark across the arms during a 3-point attempt. Classic foul, obvious, textbook, and as clear as day. But the referee? Still on vacation, missing the memo entirely.
You guys saw what I did in 23 minutes. Wait until I'm playing 30 plus. Wait until I'm playing 35 minutes. Wait until my chemistry with my teammates are all the way there. Wait until Stephanie White fine-tunes this offense around me a little bit more, tweak something here, tweak something there, and we get really into the swing of things. If you're a Caitlin Clark fan, an Indiana Fever fan, you got to be happy with what you're seeing from Caitlin Clark.
And it's not just physical, it's psychological as well. When a league allows this kind of behavior to continue, it sends a clear message. Go ahead and treat our top talent like a chew toy. We're okay with it. It's like telling future stars, forget about honing your skills. Just learn to absorb contact like a crash test dummy. Meanwhile, the broadcast crew was visibly uncomfortable, their commentary shifting from game analysis to subtle pleas for intervention. One commentator even let out an audible, "Whoa!" after yet another uncalled hit. You could practically hear the unease in their voices, as if they were witnessing a high-speed car chase unfold live on screen. And through it all, Caitlin Clark refused to lash out, flop, or complain to the refs like a soap opera star. She simply kept playing, kept scoring, and made defenders look like they took the wrong bus to the game. It's almost as if the Atlanta Dream was collectively thinking, why won't she just stop being so good? The truth is simple, because she's Caitlin Clark. Her game doesn't need a referee's approval. It demands a camera, because every play she makes is a highlight waiting to happen. Her resilience and skill expose the flaws in the system, proving she's a player who rises above the chaos and continues to shine.
Shooting them. And from where they're coming from when she does indeed hit them. You know, just comes off and cash. It's easy money from distance, right? And that's not the only play. She shot a bunch of it, and it's been the whole preseason where it looks to me like on her deepest shots.
By the fourth quarter, the Atlanta Dream had exhausted every possible option short of calling in a superhero. Defensive switches, full court pressure, double teams that looked more like triple teams, you name it, they tried it. At one point, you half expected a team manager to throw on a jersey and jump into the fray as if it were a Marvel crossover event. In a moment that was both desperate and theatrical, the Dream literally cornered her at half court like a celebrity entourage confronting a scandal. And Caitlin Clark? She didn't flinch. Instead, she delivered a no-look, behind-the-back pass so perfectly timed and slick, it could have been classified as a controlled substance. The crowd gasped in unison, part awe, part disbelief. And yes, the Dream ultimately lost, spectacularly, because while you can throw bodies at brilliance, you simply can't contain it. Shouting from the bench might slow her down temporarily, but you can't stop her from lighting up the scoreboard like a fireworks display. Caitlin Clark wasn't just playing basketball, she was performing an exorcism on doubt, one assist and deep three at a time. The Dream played hard, but Clark played with the artistry of a maestro, transforming the game into her personal stage.
I need to say this, in the blue uniforms, you can tell Caitlin Clark looks much stronger, much thicker, much more definition, more muscular. The clothes are fitting a little tighter this year than they did last year, and I don't think she went down a size. I think she bulked up a size.
Let's pause to consider the irony here. The league wants to grow, boost ratings, and increase marketability. They have a once-in-a-generation talent out there, lighting up the court like Times Square. And what do the referees do? They let her get mugged during her dribble. It's like handing someone a winning lottery ticket and then setting it on fire for fun. Caitlin Clark isn't just a player. She's a phenomenon. Fans aren't tuning in to see missed calls or confused officiating. They're watching to see her bend the game to her will. But if this reckless refereeing continues, viewers might start watching just to see if she makes it to the buzzer in one piece. Here's an idea. Maybe, just maybe, referees should start treating her with the respect she deserves. Recognize that when a player gets bulldozed mid-shot, it's not physical play. It's bad defense disguised as chaos. Clark's talent demands better protection, because the game shouldn't be a free-for-all where only the strongest survive unscathed.
Also, in addition to how easily it looks like she's shooting those threes and hitting those threes in the clip that she's doing it, going to the rack, all these various things that show she's even stronger than she was a year ago. And you see it in the strong numbers. I mean, 13 points, 6 boards, 7 assists in 23 minutes of action.
Until then, Caitlin Clark will keep doing what she does best, dominating the court with a confidence and swagger that leave defenders dizzy, analysts speechless, and fans energized. She's not merely playing the game. She's redefining it, one deep three-pointer and fearless drive at a time. Despite enduring hard fouls, cheap shots, and officiating that often seems powered by blindfolds and wishful thinking, Clark pushes forward with relentless determination. She absorbs elbows, hits, and absurd no-calls like a seasoned pro, then seamlessly sinks a logo-range shot as if it's just warm-up. Not even gravity, or apparently the referees, can hold her back from making her mark. Congratulations to WNBA officials. You've somehow managed to become the most invisible part of the game, yet simultaneously its loudest, most glaring flaw. We'd suggest you do better, but that would require acknowledging the game unfolding right in front of your eyes. Judging by the whistles you keep swallowing, that's a tall order. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is already gearing up for the next challenge, already building her highlight reel, one ignored foul at a time. Because being unstoppable isn't just a moment for her, it's a lifestyle. While the league struggles to figure out how to officiate a legend in real time, Clark continues to push boundaries, leaving fans captivated and opponents in her wake. If you enjoyed leaving a like and subscribing, more videos are on the screen now.